we are going to go ahead and get started. I do have a question of the day for us. Curious if you are already in HubSpot or creating pages, website pages, campaign pages, etc. Do you have a best performing website or landing page that you're proud of? Please share it in the chat. We want to learn from each other. We want to see what's working well for you. So go ahead and pop a link in the chat, show off for us, or pop a link in the HubSpot CMS for Marketers community. We'd love to see what you guys are doing that's working well and what you're proud of. Question of the day. While you guys are doing that, I will go ahead and introduce myself. So I am your presenter for the day. My co-presenter, Gabriel, will be on and off of these. And if you missed his most previous CMS for Marketers event, he talked all about SEO and how to get the most from SEO on your site. So email me, Megan at MEGAN at nextinym.com. Someone can pop that email in the chat as well. If you missed that and want to learn about SEO, we will send you the recording. We'll also be recording today's chat as well if you want to take another look at this. A little bit about me. I am the creative director. I'm Megan Sullivan, the creative director at Nextiny Marketing. We help to co-host with HubSpot the CMS for Marketers HubSpot events user group, and then the study group office hours as well. I've been working in the HubSpot CMS for 5+ years. I've done probably close to 100 built and launched HubSpot CMS websites. So I eat, breathe, and sleep this stuff. Really excited about it and love to share with you guys and learn from you guys. I'm passionate about data-driven design and user experience. We're also really big fans here at Nextiny of Storybrand. So you'll hear actually a decent amount of that today. And again, we are from Nextiny, a HubSpot Diamond partner. So happy again that you guys are joining us today. Thank you so much for being here. Isabella just popped my email in the chat. If you have any questions or want to reach out directly, feel free to do so through there. With that, we'll get right into today's office hours agenda. So we're going to briefly touch base on what is CMS office hours. This is fairly new. Jody, yes, we are recording, so we will send you this link. In the follow-up after this, we're going to talk a little about what is CMS office hours. We're going to get into the meat and potatoes of today, which is going to be how to structure your homepage. And this is going to be the Storybrand way. So if you're confused about what content should live on my homepage, what should be the order of what exists on my homepage, we're going to dig into all of that today. So hopefully you'll come away with some actionable items for how to optimize the homepage structure of your site. We're going to talk through just some HubSpot CMS updates. And then at the end, we'll have time for question and answer. So please, at any point, if you have questions about HubSpot CMS or really anything HubSpot related, drop it in the chat and our team would be happy to get you answers or find answers for you if we don't have them. So let me back up. So HubSpot CMS for Marketers study group and Hug events, what is it? We have a HubSpot CMS for Marketers study group. If you're not already a part of, we would recommend you joining. It's just a place for anyone who's using the HubSpot CMS as a marketer to join and to connect and learn how to do things better. What's working for you? What's not working for you? Are there questions or challenges you're facing? It's a really cool community of HubSpot users to have a place to just connect and grow and do better marketing together. We also have our office hours, which are 30 minutes once a month. You're in them right now to learn and grow, learn new tips and tricks, talk about questions that are being asked inside of the CMS for Marketers study group, and get into all of that. So we're really happy to have you guys a part of this community. We'd love to learn from you. So please join if you haven't already and connect and ask questions and comment, etc. I'll get right into the meat and potatoes of today. So we're going to talk again about how to structure your homepage, and we're going to do this the Storybrand way. So if you're not familiar with Storybrand or the Storybrand methodology, put in the chat if you are familiar with Storybrand. If you're not familiar with Storybrand, we'd love to know. Basically, Storybrand was created by a guy named Donald Miller, and the concept is that humans as a whole are hardwired to recognize and look for stories. And this Storybrand company did some deep dive research into how can we utilize this hardwiring of humans to look for this common theme story to make better marketing, to not just speak into the void, but to actually tell a story that connects with our audience through our marketing, and use this data in websites, emails, landing pages, etc. So they talk all about how to create really clean and clear messaging. They have a ton of free content, and also paid content. They have workshops, and there's also a book that you can read that we'd highly recommend that sort of talks about how to get really clean, clear, direct messaging on your site. We're big fans of them today, and this is sort of going to be the foundation for how we're talking through how we set up our homepages for our clients, and how we recommend doing it. And we've seen success doing it for you guys. So we'll start. We're going to go through 7 sections today for brand methodology. There's 10 sections. These are 7 sections that we use a ton and take advantage of a ton. So we included those, but there's a lot of resources, and we'll send it in the follow-up email. If you want the full 10 sections, we'd recommend digging into that as well. So section 1, this is the header of your website. This is above the fold, the content that you have right when someone gets to your site. Obviously, you're going to want your logo there. The second thing you're going to want that a lot of people actually miss, surprisingly, is a clear statement of what your customer wants. So the biggest and boldest H1 on your site should be really clear messaging that speaks directly to what your customer is looking for on your site. So you can see in this example, bring your outdoor space to life with an aluminum pergola. So I know right away that what this company is going to do is going to be something about bringing my outdoor space to life, and how they're going to do that is through aluminum pergolas. And we like to think about this first section of your homepage as like the grunt test. Like if I can't look really quickly and have an easy understanding of what your business does, then you are losing opportunities right off the bat in your homepage. So make sure this first statement is super clear and speaks to what your customer is looking for. A lot of times we see family owned and operated since X, Y, and Z, which is awesome stuff, but not something that me as a customer cares about, and especially not right off the bat. So right under your clear statement, you're going to want to have a clear description of what you do. So here's where you can kind of bring yourself into the story. And you can see this is Storybrand methodology as well, but the customer is the hero of the story. And you as your business are the guide. So you are helping them achieve the success they're looking for. So here's where, you can see bring your outdoor space to life. In this second statement, you can bring a little bit of we language in here. So you can see in this example, we help Sarasota and St. Pete homeowners create their dream outdoor living spaces with structured aluminum pergolas and cabanas. So again, really clear what this company does. The next thing you're going to want to include, and this, you've heard me preach it before if you've been to these office hours, and I will say it a million times. If you do not have a clear first step call to action of how I, as a prospect, does business with you, in the top right of your website, in the top right menu there, as well as like the front and center somewhere above the fold on your main page, you're missing opportunities for users to do business with you. We just actually set a site live where we did this change. We optimized the site for this main conversion, and I think they've scheduled in the past week 20 to 30 calls. That was their first step, was to book a call. We know this is successful. If you need an action item from today's 30 minutes and you don't already have this on your site, go do it today. Don't make me as a customer work for what I have to do business with you. Make it easy on me. I know when I go to this site, I need to get a consultation, and that's how I'm going to get my aluminum pergola. Bonus is if you have a smiling face, which this example does not pass this test, but humans connect with humans. We want to see people who are happy, who are using your product, smiling, enjoying. So try to have some sort of human element of a happy, smiling face in your first header section. So that is the header. The next section you're going to want to include on your page is a value stack. And these are just 3 simple successes that your customer will experience if they choose to work with you. This is just like quick overview that's going to help your readers see how your company can make their life better. And it helps increase the perceived value of your product or service. So right away, I have like a bite size, like stop stressing, stay organized, save time. This is what I'm going to learn right away when I work with your company. This is how I'm going to feel. So this could be boost productivity, maximize your ROI, grow your business, whatever it is. Hit those really briefly so you kind of set the scene for this is what we do. this is how you're going to feel when you work with us. So section 2, get your value stack. The third section here is where you want to really speak directly to your customer. A lot of times, especially on websites, we see companies speaking at their customer and not necessarily to their customer. So, this is an awesome opportunity where you say, hey, we understand the stakes if you don't get this right. If this issue in your life, whatever our product or solution or service solves for, if you don't get this right, we understand there are real stakes. So, you can see in this example, does your business struggle with, and this is an IT company, this is an example, constant downtime, unreliable technology, security risks, unpredictable costs? You want to speak like, hey, we understand what it's like to not have this issue or this problem solved, and it creates empathy in relation, so your customer knows that you know who they are, you know what their issues are, and you're going to be able to hopefully help them solve it. So this can be, your receipts aren't tracked properly, tax time is always a headache, you're afraid you might run out of cash reserves, you don't have time to deal with it, whatever that is. Create a section that speaks to that, as the third section on your website. So now we will get into where you can represent your value or services. So we'll go back to our aluminum pergola example here, and you can see what a difference an aluminum pergola can make. And then they have the 3 different aluminum pergola solutions they offer here. So this can be the value that you provide to solve your reader. It can be a few of your services, or it can be the benefits of working with you. So, less downtime, whatever that may be. If you want to highlight those benefits there as well, this is where you can speak to. Okay, we understand your problem. We have specific services that are going to give you solutions. The 5th section is where you can get into establishing your authority. So, in this section, you're going to show your visitors that you're qualified to solve their problem. The authority section of your website should include something like customer testimonials, awards, certifications, maybe some clients that you've worked with in the past that you want to feature. And maybe, like in this example, this is an example from a franchise company, and you can see they were featured in a bunch of awesome franchise press releases. So this is an awesome opportunity to say, like, hey, we actually have authority in this space. You don't want to make it about you. And you can see as a common theme in this whole thing, we're making it about the customer. But there's also a space where you want to build that authority by adding customer testimonials. Another just pro tip we see all the time is sometimes people will add crazy long customer testimonials. And we recommend keeping those short and sweet. Across the board, like best website pages have 10 sentences. People don't like to read, they like to skim content. And that's why we want to make the content that they are skimming as powerful as possible. Yes, we will be sharing these slides after the session, and lots of great resources for homepage template structure that you guys can just like pop in and fill out. So yes, great question. We will be getting this to you after. So after your authority section, you're going to want to create a plan. And this might seem redundant or feel redundant, but what it does is helps overcome for your customer this like natural hesitation that we as humans don't like to feel overwhelmed, or like we don't know what's coming in the future, that'll be cumbersome or tedious to start working with you. We don't like the unknown in general. So if you can lay out your plan really clearly for us, hey, you can start working with us. Your custom technology solution is just 3 steps away. Schedule a call, get your custom solution, enjoy maximized efficiency. Some pro tips for your planned section. I like to make the first step the main call to action that you have. So you can see in this example up here, the step number 1 for the plan section is schedule a call. And that is that call to action that we have in the top right in the center of our pages, the main call to action we have our site optimized for. We would recommend doing that. So it's like, hey, here's step 1, take the step now. And then step 2 could be whatever the next relevant step is in your process. The last step can also be a benefit your customer will experience working with you. So you kind of want to create that positive again, like taking them through the full story. Here's where you start. And then you have this second step. The third step, you're going to enjoy maximized efficiency. You're going to enjoy your outside space or stay outside longer or whatever, if we're talking about that aluminum pergola example. So create a plan section on your website. The next section, and this is the last section I've included in today's presentation. Again, there are 10 sections if you're following the traditional Storybrand example, but you want to leave right before your footer. You want to leave your audience with some sort of call to action. If they've made it this far down your homepage, you want to take this opportunity to nurture them. So at the end of the page, send your visitor to some sort of nurturing experience, which just means send them to some sort of page that has a form. So maybe this is a downloadable, maybe it's your brochure downloadable, maybe it's take a quiz to see X, Y, and Z. Or maybe it's just the first step to working with you, book a qualification call. Whatever that is, make sure that you're ending on some sort of lead nurturing experience with your site. With that, that is all I have for the website sections. I want to leave some space here before I dig into some other stuff I have on today's agenda. If anyone has any questions, you guys a ton of resources. I know I went through this fairly quickly, and it can be a powerful thing. We're firm believers in growth driven design here. So, taking little pieces of your site and optimizing them over time. If you have a website homepage that has not been updated recently, this is something that can be a really big quick win if you are able to make some changes and redesign this into this new structure. Pretty much guarantee that you are going to see an increase in how users are engaging with your brand and your site as a whole. I will also say these principles of this basic sort of story we're creating on this page is relevant for your homepage as well as your internal service pages. So, and also pretty much all of the content you're putting together, speaking with authority and empathy and speaking to your customers and not at your customers, is something we have seen be super impactful across the board. So please, if you have any questions on anything I've shared so far, any specifics on what it looks like to actually implement this, drop them in the chat now. I'm going to go over to Jennifer, who's in here today. We do, like I mentioned, the HubSpot CMS community is an awesome place if you have questions or want to share thoughts and ideas. We have this community set up. Jennifer had shared some HTML and CSS books that she strongly recommends if you are new, or we are no code here, so we're big fans of no code, but you most of the times have to dabble at least minimally into this. So if you're wanting to get into this, Jennifer shared two awesome resources in the HubSpot community. So go check them out. Isabella just shared the thread where you can join the community as well as check out Jennifer's post. Thank you so much for being here and for being part of our community.